I've got a bullet from the Battle of Gettysburg and a penny from 1946. I just got laid off my job today. Today has been a roller coaster of emotions. As I've thought about everything going on in my head, I've been reminded of these two objects. The Civil War in general was a time in our nation's history, in the history of the United States, that was really hopeless. People wondered at the time how we could ever recover from that. And yet, looking back on it, a century and a half of history, it's easy for us to see how it worked out and things happened for the better. Similarly, this penny, minted in 1946, that was roughly the space in between the ending of World War II and then the Cold War. I think of all the things that happened during World War II. People were still reeling with the loss of loved ones, all the fallout of war, and then they're also about to head into a Cold War that would leave the world scared and feeling very on edge for decades. But we look back at that and we see how it resolved, and we see how we came through it, and we say, okay, it feels like history. And while obviously we can think about the death tolls, the carnage, the sorrow, we also recovered from that as a nation, as a world. And so how does this relate to me today? I got laid off. I'm certainly not comparing getting laid off to World War. But this bullet was given to me by a great friend of mine, and I remember him at the time giving it to me and saying, look, I want you to remember that when times feel hopeless, right? When this bullet was fired, people were feeling hopeless, that we'd never recover from this giant schism that was in the United States, right? That this great divide between the North and the South, we'd never overcome it. But we did. There's still problems in the world today. There's still issues, right? There's always going to be something to worry about, but we overcame. And he gave this to me during a time where I was frustrated, and it made me think about it today and thinking about getting laid off. I want to remind you that no matter where you're at, you can get through this. I know we can take things that happen to us as a test of our character, that somehow we failed. At least today, the layoff was a kind of a big thing. So it certainly wasn't a direct, just me kind of thing. And while again, it would certainly be stupid to try and compare getting laid off to World War or Civil War, but what I do want to remind myself and remind you is that if you're currently going through something that you feel like you need a boost, right? You need a reminder of the good things you've done, the things that you've overcome. Remember that many who have come before you have felt similarly hopeless in big ways or even in small personal ways. I know you can go out and talk to friends, family. You can certainly find it on the internet. Times when great people of history, great entrepreneurs, or great members of your family, go ask them. They've felt hopeless. They've had those moments where they had great self-doubt, or they wondered how things would work out. And yet, looking back, sometimes it's so easy to forget how we felt in the moment, even though in the moment it felt pretty hopeless. I'm Oler. There is hope. There's hope for me. There's hope for you. And consider the opportunities you have to either reflect upon the moments of trials being overcome and of hope, or consider how you could be someone who is able to bring that hope to somebody else into their life if they're feeling down. Yeah. Hope. Anybody find me somebody to